Hello, and welcome to the Willow Cove Crafts knitting and sewing channel. Hello, and welcome to Willow Cove Crafts, my channel here on YouTube where I talk about knitting and sewing and my other crafty endeavors. My name is Emily, and it is time again for another weekly knitting diary where I talk about what I have been up to and what projects I have worked on in the last week. To start us off today, I will share with you what I am wearing. This is the Foyka sweater, which is a pattern by Linka Neumann. I knit this almost about 2 years ago at this point. It is a colorwork yoke sweater. It's bulky weight. I knit mine out of Alafosslopi by Istex, and just this week, we've started to see some cooler temperatures here in Wisconsin, and it has been the perfect time to start busting out some of my hand knit sweaters, and this is one of my personal favorites, and so I've already worn it a couple times this week and looking forward to many more wears as we head into winter. Next up, I have a new segment for you all this week that I think I'm going to be calling Finishing Touches, and it is for projects that I worked on that are finished. There was really no knitting done on them in the last week. However, they needed those final little things to get them into tip-top condition. And so this week, as promised, I did a little bit of vlog footage of myself blocking my Stria cardigan. So if you watched last week, you may remember that I finished my Stria cardigan. That is a pattern by Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits. And I knit this sweater out of the Caslon base by Ampersand fibers. That's their 100% wool fingering base yarn. I'm not going to go through all of the colors this week, but I will put them in the description below if you are curious. But last week I talked a bit about the wonders of blocking, and I thought I would show you what that process looks like and do a little comparison of the unblocked versus blocked sweater, just so you can see the true magic that happens when you block your hand knits. So I hope you enjoy. Now, this sweater is still not completely 100% finished. It needs one more thing, and that is buttons. So I did not get a chance to put buttons on my Stria cardigan this week, so I will definitely be doing that next week to share with you. But I do have my buttons, and they're very special. I went to the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival a couple weeks ago, and there was a button vendor. I can't remember her name, unfortunately. She only does shows, so she's not available to purchase online, but she had this amazing collection of vintage buttons, and I was just completely enamored. They were a bit pricey, but so beautiful. So I only bought 2 sets, but I definitely wanted many sets of buttons. But these are the buttons that I picked out for my Stria cardigan. And again, these are all vintage buttons. It's a little out of focus, but yes, I loved the idea of having some sort of brass or metal buttons. And I saw these and I loved how they were all different but still cohesive. And the fact that they are quite old, I think, gives them a little bit of a story and a little bit of a nice finishing touch. So I will be adding these to my Stria this week, and then it will be officially done. So I can't wait to share that with you next week. Next up is works in progress. Last week I had just cast on my Lakes pullover, which is a pattern by Ozetta, and I have gotten quite a bit of progress done on it this week. The sweater is basically knitting itself, I think, but here it is. So last week I had knit both of these saddle shoulders, and I had picked up stitches for the back and had knit on the back panel down to this marker. And since last week I finished the back panel, and then I picked up stitches and knit the front panel, and I have since joined for the underarms and am now knitting in the round for the body. And yes, I said last week that I specifically picked this pattern as my next project because I was looking for a quick win, something that would knit up quite quickly, and I think the proof is in the pudding. This is coming together really quickly. I also don't feel like I knit a ton this week. I had a lot going on. So this is just coming together so quickly. It's flying by. The yarn I'm using for this sweater, I have a little nugget of it here. It's almost time for a new ball. This is Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. This is their 100% wool worsted base, and the color is cast iron, which is the black, obviously. And I really love this yarn because it is tweedy. You can see that pretty well. It does get quite blown out in the sunlight, but you can see all of those little white and gray flecks in there. And yes, this is probably a lot more accurate of a color. It's definitely a black yarn, and I am loving it. I love how fast it is knitting up. I am hoping I will probably finish out this ball of yarn on the body, and then I will go pick up and knit the neckband this week, and then I will continue knitting on the body, and who knows, maybe the whole body of the sweater will be done next week. I'm not setting any sort of goals or milestones for myself, but it does seem within the realm of possibility that that the body could get knit up in the next week. We'll see. But yes, that is my Lakes pullover by Ozetta, and super excited to have a nice basic sweater in my winter wardrobe. That is everything I have to share with you this week. If you liked this video or you like this type of content, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a thumbs up and a comment so that other people will find these videos, and I will chat with you again next week, hopefully with some more progress on my lakes and some buttons on my Stria. Have a great week, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.